Drek Tran just torched Pete Hegseth live in front of the Armed Services Committee, and I'm telling you, it was brutal. This might be the last time we ever see Pete Hegseth struggle through a congressional grilling, because after today, his career is hanging by a thread. The man couldn't defend himself, couldn't defend his lies, and couldn't defend the second strike that is now blown up in his face. And trust me, what you're about to see is nothing short of catastrophic for him.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Thank you to the witnesses for being here. Mr. Secretary, I just got word that Senator Padilla from my great state of California was physically assaulted and arrested for attending Secretary Noem's press event. The mere fact that he showed up, he was forcibly removed. Is this how you would treat a member of Congress who attends your press event, whether invited or not?
Well, I've been here for 5 hours, sir. I don't know about that.
I'm just asking, would you have me forcibly removed from your press event if I walked in?
I'm not going to speculate on a hypothetical. I'm sure there's more context.
I'll take that as a yes. Mr. Secretary, does the DOD have any plans to allow the military to follow the orders of President Trump when his order violates the Constitution? Yes or no?
I reject the premise of that question, which is that President Trump is ordering unconstitutional orders.
I'll take that as a yes as well. Mr. Secretary, the deployment of active duty Marines to California is incredibly disruptive to the lives of service members who are being drawn into the president's publicity stunt. And I want to know how you're planning to take care of these troops. So will you commit to sending my office and this committee a detailed plan on how you plan to house and feed the 700 Marines and potentially thousands of Marines?
What's disruptive is when concrete blocks are thrown at the heads of ICE officers. And so we're proud that National Guardsmen and Marines have responded in real time to help defend those federal law enforcement officers.
So do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to house
Not only do we have a plan, but it's been a focus of mine. I've held a riot shield before in a riot. I recognize what it means to respond in real time without enough time.
Mr. Secretary, will you get me that plan,
everything they can
please?
as fast as they can, and we have a plan for that.
Mr. Secretary, I reclaim my plan. Chairwoman, LA Mayor Bass stated that the area placed under the recent curfew is around 1 square mile. Is that the same area where service members will be deployed?
Service members are in Los Angeles to defend law enforcement, ICE agents, and facilities.
So essentially you're telling me that American people that a 1 square mile block of LA, and for the record, LA County is over 4,700 square miles, warrants the deployment of 700 Marines and the federalization of 4,000 California National Guardsmen. You testified earlier that you will send in the military to protect local law enforcement. Did LAPD Police Chief McDonnell ask you for your help?
I read reports on a regular basis.
Did he ask for your help?
From ICE agents
I'll take that as a no.
More grateful.
Did LA Sheriff Luna ask for you to send in the military, Mr. Secretary? Did LA Sheriff Luna ask you to send in the military? Yes or no?
I don't work for the LA Sheriff, sir.
Well, you said you sent them in to support the military, but they didn't even ask for your, to support law enforcement, but they didn't even ask for your help. Have you been to Los Angeles in the last 7 days?
My team is, from the top down, focused on making sure Los Angeles
I'll also take that as a no. How did you arrive at the decision not to coordinate with local law enforcement and the governor's office on the initial deployment?
It would be great if the governor attempted to actually coordinate instead of grandstand.
All right, so I believe you're secretly deploying troops to an area without coordinating with local officials is somehow not disruptive and to the logistical and operational conditions on the ground. You agree with that?
I would need you to repeat the question, sir.
Does the department plan on coordinating with Governor Newsom's office on local law enforcement going forward, Mr. Secretary?
We've coordinated with local law enforcement quite well, but the governor's been an obstruction to that, of course.
All right, Secretary Hegseth, this political stunt, and by your own admission, is expected to cost the American taxpayer at least $134 million and will disrupt the lives of hundreds and potentially thousands of active duty Marines and 4,000 National Guardsmen. That's $134 million and thousands of personnel diverted away from critical missions in the Indo-Pacific, where China is rapidly expanding from Europe, where NATO needs US support amid growing Russian aggression, and from CENTCOM, where tensions are escalating so critically that your own General Kurilla had to cancel all his testimony in Congress today. Your redirection of combat-ready troops from real-world national security threats to manage a domestic protest is gross mismanagement and a slap in the face of service members whose lives are disrupted throughout this event. As a veteran myself, it's a disgrace, and you should be ashamed. I yield back.
What Drek Tran exposed in that exchange wasn't just a sloppy deployment. It was a full-blown pattern of constitutional overreach, political misuse of the military, and a Secretary of Defense who can't give a straight answer because the truth undermines everything he's done. Tran's questions cut through the talking points and forced Pete Hegseth into a corner. Why were 700 Marines and 4,000 federalized National Guardsmen sent into a 1 square mile protest zone in Los Angeles without the governor's request, without coordination with local law enforcement, and without a real operational plan to house, feed, or support the troops whose missions were being disrupted across the Indo-Pacific, Europe, and the Middle East? Hegseth tried to deflect by talking about concrete blocks and riot shields, but he never explained why the Pentagon bypassed legal channels or why this deployment, costing at least $134 million, was necessary at all. And that evasiveness becomes even more disturbing when you connect it to the Venezuela boat strikes, because the same pattern is there too. Shifting stories, lack of transparency, and a refusal to release the Pentagon tapes that would show exactly what happened, including whether Hegseth gave an unlawful kill order in the first strike and why his account of the second strike has changed multiple times. By dodging every direct question, Hegseth wasn't just hiding mismanagement. He was protecting himself from the implications of his own decisions, both abroad and at home. Because if he admits he bypassed authority in Los Angeles, he invites the same scrutiny over Venezuela. And the simplest, most damning part of all of this is something people need to remember. Back in 2016, Pete Hegseth himself said no soldier should ever follow an illegal order, even from a president, and that whoever gives that illegal order must face the consequences.
There are some guys at Leavenworth who made really bad choices on the battlefield. And I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. There's a standard, there's an ethos, there's a belief that we are above what so many things that our enemies or others would do.